Joining us now is Sheitan Atigarin with stories trending around the world. Hello, Sheitan.
Good morning, Doctor.
How are you?
Good to see you. Good morning,
Good morning.
Ayo. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. And Rufai?
Morning.
All right, then. Good morning. To you viewers, here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. Demonstration tagged Justice for Mohbad was held outside the Chief Magistrate's Court in Ikorodu yesterday in memory of the late Afrobeat artist Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad. The protest, led by Yoruba actor Yomi Fabiyi, sought to draw attention to the controversial circumstances surrounding Mohbad's death on September 12, 2023, exactly a year ago today in Lagos. Mohbad's body was exhumed for a post-mortem examination after nationwide outrage over his swift burial, with eyewitnesses claiming that his neck appeared to have been broken to fit into the casket. The late artist was formerly signed to Naira Marley's Malian Records before establishing his record, Immolenization. The investigation into his death has been ongoing, with suspects including Naira Marley and his associate Sam Larry, as well as his artist Zinoleski. Mohbad's mother, Mrs. Abosede Aloba, pleaded with the public to pray for her son and urged authorities to release his remains for the burial. How time flies. I remember when he passed away last year, there was just this upsurge, this energy in the air where a lot of his fans and even just the world alike were looking for justice for Mohbad. But 1 year after, it seems as if this story is still not come to a conclusion. Doctor?
Well, many dimensions to the story. I can understand the grief, the trauma that the family must be going through because he died under very controversial circumstances, precisely on September 12, 2023. So it's been a year since then. And we've had all this back and forth, about the family asking for certain witnesses to come to the coroner's inquest, which is taking place at the magistrate court in Ikorodu. And some of those witnesses, the magistrate threatening to subpoena them, because they seem to have shunned the invitation of the court. Then the other drama on the family front about the father, the mother, and the mother of his child, and all kinds of talk about, the circumstances of his death. I think, it looks really bad that 1 year later, he was buried, his body was exhumed, and coroner's, forensic autopsy carried out, and this young man has not been allowed to rest. All of this drama will not bring him back to life. I think first, the dead should be buried. The biggest honor that you can give anybody that is dead is, to allow them to rest. Yeah. As we saw in Aeschylus' Agamemnon and Euripides' play on, which is Aias, about how to honor the dead. Then justice for Mohbad, I think that's also an important line. His supporters, this is the gentleman that gave us Kokwoke, KPK, gave us peace, I think you were playing it was Burna Boy you were playing yesterday. But many people still remember him in terms of his artistry, in terms of his legacy. But I think also, every effort should be made if there is justice down the line, if there was something shady. 1 year is long enough for the authorities to have carried out their investigations and for due process of law, where necessary, to have been effected.
Ayo?
Yes, the best tribute for Mohbad, Ileri, is number one, for him to rest in peace, and the other is for justice to be served in the event that there was foul play leading to his death. We all know what happened last year when he unfortunately passed away. A candle in the wind, snuffed out too early at the age of 27 on this day last year, and he was buried immediately in what was said to be suspicious circumstances. This led to call-outs, especially following, looking back at some of the abuse he had faced under his record label. Now, there have been investigations done, and there was a call for an exhumation, which happened. And then they said that his DNA was taken abroad to the United States of America. Hence the reason for the delay in coming out with a report. I think it would be nice, just beyond just the fact that it's a great tribute to him to find out the real cause of his death. But it's also going to speak a lot about justice system as well, to see that when people die under circumstances that are not very straightforward, an investigation can be conducted and we can really find out or get to the bottom of everything. And I don't think people are going to rest until this happens. The Lagos state government, I believe, made a commitment to ensuring that this will happen. We've had a number of celebrities who've come out to ensure that his memory will not just pass away like that, because it then brought about a bigger conversation around record labels, abuse in celebrity culture, what is done, people who are sacred, without pointing fingers. Yeah. I think those are some of the things that can come out of this. And then family dynamics as well, and putting in place a will, no matter how young you are. So it brought out a lot of things, but I'm hoping that justice will be served so that he can truly rest in peace.
Rufai.
So what I don't understand is how long it takes to get justice, or how people never get justice. So I'll have thought that after the protest last year and the mass movement for justice for Mohbad, by now we should have gotten justice.
Yeah.
In all ramification, no justice. What's been the resolution of the autopsy they went to do in America? Mohbad's father was here a couple of weeks ago, and he still talked about how he's in the dark as regards everything. And now you talked about the family dynamics, about his son. What's going to be the future of that boy? What's going to be the internal resolution with the family? Then we also talked about record label dynamics. After Mohbad, there are still many artists that are being treated worse than the way Mohbad was treated. Nothing has been done. So was it that protest was just in vain? Because people can hardly get justice in Nigeria 1 year on. And to top it, the fact that Mohbad has not been buried. So as we speak, is his body still with the government? I thought the government said they were going to do an autopsy in America. Have they brought the body back? When will he be given a proper burial? Where is the body as we speak? Then the time at which the coroner sequence is now starting. Some people will argue that, okay, they are taking the body abroad because they don't have the expertise here. When are we going to be able to grow the expertise here? Because I also know of another case where somebody was hurt and killed, that the government and the investigators were even told the family to go and bring 24 million so that they can do some forensic work on the body, that the forensic lab had been burned in the NSAS protest. So a mother grieving was told to go and bring 24 million so that the forensic of her child will be done in a case that is a case against the state, a case of murder. So, you see, when a lot of people say things about this country, it's not that we're a bit emotional. It's because we see a lot of gap in our system. But hopefully, I just pray this time next year we'll not be here talking about Mohbad's body not being buried yet.
May his soul continue to rest in peace. Let's move on now to our next story. Odion Olaye, chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress in Edo State, has sparked controversy with his inflammatory remarks ahead of the September 21 gubernatorial elections. In a viral video, Olaye, while campaigning in Ego, Benin City for Aso Ighodalo, the People's Democratic Party candidate, assured supporters of victory. He also predicted that the PDP would win Ego, adding that the state would burn if the International National Electoral Commission failed to declare Ighodalo the winner of the polls. Let's take a look.
I want to tell you people, I want to assure you that you people, PDP, our party is going to win Ego. 80%, 20%. And 2027 of this one, they will declare as the winner Ighodalo a winner. If they refuse to do that, I don't say we won.
Meanwhile, Edo State Governor and PDP leader Godwin Obaseki has hinted that the party may not sign the peace accord ahead of the September 21 governorship poll. Obaseki alleged that the Nigerian police responsible for enforcing the accord have shown bias towards the All Progressives Congress and are waging war against the PDP. The governor made this comment during a courtesy visit by the chairman of the National Peace Committee, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, to the government house in Benin City. Let's take a look.
We've had situations where, from the Inspector General's office, there are armed gangs of policemen who have come into Edo State to just invade, arrest, and take away PDP members. As we speak, there are about 10 in detention in Abuja without trial. And for me, my role as the chief security officer is being made nonsense of by the IG. Because the commission arrests, we heard somebody was arrested, the chairman was arrested. I called the commissioner. I said, please, I understand this has happened. Please look into it and let me know. He said, I'll come back to you, sir. And he just refused, he ignored me, didn't say anything. It was the next morning at 4 a.m., he moved that person to Abuja. And I said, speak the out there. So, sir, how can we sign a peace accord? Why should we? Because clearly what you're saying is it's going to be a very violent election. And they're going to use the forces of coercion and intimidation to win the elections in Edo, whether we like it or not. That's the message.
Well, finally, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Mr. Peter Obi, joined the Labour Party governorship campaign train to canvass support for the gubernatorial candidate of the party in the upcoming Edo State elections, Olumide Akpata. The presence of the two-term governor of Anambra State boosted the campaign rally held at different locations within the Benin metropolis, where Obi urged eligible voters to come out en masse to cast their votes for the party. He assured the people that the LP gubernatorial flag bearer would fix the state and move it forward, adding that the party in the state would reduce the current hardship being felt in the state. Let's take a look. Well, I wanted to put these three stories together because they all have to do with the upcoming Edo gubernatorial elections. 21st of September 2024 is really going to be a day to watch out for. But I'd like to know your thoughts from the comments from the present governor to the comments from the NLC head in Edo State, and then also Peter will be out there canvassing support for Oludi Elololo.
Okay, it's as follows. Earlier on, we discussed the National Peace Committee led by General Abdulsalami Abubakar. And, the point was made that, well, there's no constitutional provision backing the existence of the, National Peace Committee. But I made the point that the value proposition of the National Peace Committee is that elections should not be war, that Nigerians should give peace a chance. So it's about values that we hold there. And that, National Peace Committee, you have traditional rulers there, the Sultan of Sokoto, you have Bishop Kuka, you have, chieftains of industry like Otedola, like Aliko Dangote. You have Cardinal Onayeka, people from different, sectors of the Nigerian society with a consensus that the best way forward for this country is for elections to be seen as elections and for the people to be the ones to determine the outcome of the elections, not thugs, not miscreants. 2.6 million registered voters in Edo State. I think that the conversation should be about the interests of those 2.6 million registered voters, including the ones that have been asked to come and collect the voters' cards that they have not collected. The second point is that the gladiators are beating the drums of war, days to the election on September 21. It was Governor Obaseki, and the chairman of the PDP, and also the NLC, the Nigeria Labour Congress chairman in Edo State, saying, look, they don't think this peace thing will make sense. You quoted the NLC chairman saying, Edo will burn if Ashe Ighodalo is not allowed to win. Now that's curious, because the Nigerian Labour Congress is the trustee of the Labour Party. But here you have the NLC chairman in Edo State saying it's Ashe Ighodalo that won. So there's a lot of division. There's a lot of acrimony. Now the peace accord is to be signed today. We urge all parties concerned to sign that accord, if only to show that, okay, on their own part, individual part, and collectively, they are committed to peace, the major value of making sure that peace reigns in the interest of peace and stability in Edo State. APC is also complaining. APC campaign team is saying that when they went to campaign in Ososo and Igara, in I think the Akoko Edo area, that they had issues, with the PDP leaders from that area, including Omobayo Godwins, who is the deputy governor of Edo State. So you find that it's not just PDP that is protesting, APC is also protesting. That's why we appeal to them to give peace a chance. Of course, naturally, you will expect that Mr. Peter Obi will go to Edo State and campaign in support of Olumide Akpata. It's a three-way race. You have the PDP, you have the APC, you have the Labour Party in that race. But let all the gladiators conduct themselves, if they would, if they have the capacity to do so, after the fashion of gentlemen and patriots, and give peace a chance and allow the people's vote to count. Already they give the impression that the people's vote will not count on all sides. But we as Nigerians watching Edo State, we expect that this is an off-cycle election. The police are deploying 35,000 officers. Other security agencies are deploying 8,000 people, 43,000. If you calculate the cost, they've not told us the cost. It's a lot of money. All of that should not go to waste by denying the people of Edo State their right to choose their own leader for the next 4 years. That right must be respected.
Definitely. Ayo.
Yeah, the right has to be respected. I must say that, yes, we discussed the video by Governor Obaseki and the visit by General Abdul Salami, head of the National Peace Committee. And I maintain the fact that, yes, a peace accord is good to sign for the optics, but there are bigger issues that ought to be addressed. There have been accusations on both sides, as the PDP and the APC, as to unfairness and violence and threats of violence. Let us discuss those things. I say this because if you look at the past and accords that have been signed in the past, it didn't seem to have done a lot. So people come to the table, append their signature, go out of the room and do what they like. If it's not them, it is their surrogates and them not doing enough. And so if we want to really have peaceful elections, I commend the efforts of the National Peace Committee. And of course, you cannot fault the leader, General Abdul Salami. I think the only person who's possibly respected the signing is former President Goodluck Jonathan, who in the interest of peace agreed to accept the results of the elections. Aside from him, I make bold to say not a lot of people have pursued the path of peace in this regard. And so again, just to call that the Edo people are the most important. In fairness to both of them, look at all the campaigns. Labour Party seems to be the one who have, at least for Mr. Akpata's part, I don't know if he has come out to complain about threats to him and his campaigns or threats, accusations have been made of him. I condemn the statement made by the NLC chairman in Edo State for the PDP. Edo must not burn down if your candidate does not win. Definitely. The people have a right to choose. Let them just choose in a peaceful atmosphere. That's what we're calling for.
Rufai.
I do not know why the Edo State NLC chairman has not been picked up by now, making such a statement. Please, we have to be fair across board. When you make such statement, you should be picked up for interrogation. I support that. But what I don't support is when only people from a certain political party are picked up. and others that make those inciting statements are not picked up. That's just it. Let the police be fair across board, across every area, and it has to be stated. So statements like this has no place in our politics. And for the police, I just have questions to ask the police this morning. I just checked. In the last Kogi election, they deployed 35,000 police officers. What happened? There was still rigging. There was still ballot box snatching. There was still violence. They are always deploying 35,000 police officers. But you will still have rigging. So this their number of 35,000. What effect is it making? Can we not totally stop and eliminate rigging? Or reduce it to the barest minimum? So it holds on the police. Like they do what is right, like they don't do what is right, posterity will judge them. IGP Egbedoku, this is another test for you. Posterity will judge you the way you handle this election. So you better do it right. And Doctor, I'm sure Dr. But when you were talking, must have been an oversight. You said the Deputy Governor of Edo State is Godwin. It's Philip Shuaibu, according to the court of the land.
And he's resumed, hasn't he?
It's Philip Shuaibu.
Okay.
According to
They
the
have
court.
two deputy governors.
No, there's no two deputy governors. The law of the land
Has recognized
Philip Shuaibu. Omobayo Godwin, based on that declarative judgment of the court, is not recognized.
So it's Governor Obaseki's personal deputy.
I don't know. Maybe that's
Okay, maybe one is the jury, the other one is de facto.
No, there's no de jure de facto, Dr. But you are a lawyer.
Mobile Godwin is de facto. He's the one in the office.
Let's move on to our next story. We have run out of time.
It's not VP.
Yes, let's just take our last story. In a strategic move to reduce fuel costs and provide Nigerians with an affordable alternative to petrol and diesel, President Bola Tinubu has enabled compressed natural gas (CNG) to be available for vehicles at 230 naira per standard cubic meter. This initiative provides a cheaper and cleaner alternative to petrol, which currently sells for over 900 per litre, reflecting the president's commitment to lowering the cost of living and alleviating the pressures from fuel subsidy removal. The Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, which was launched under President Tinubu's directive, is set to deliver wide-reaching benefits to Nigerians by significantly cutting fuel costs. And I wonder if this is actually going to, help Nigerians a bit more. But we've run out of time. It's been a pleasure doing What's Trending with you over the past couple of weeks.
Well, you're still in the seat, right? Anyway, thank you very much, Sheikh Gani.